As always, people who are joining or watching this later once it's not live, skip a minute or two. I always give people a few minutes to get joined. Anybody who is joining, drop a comment so that I know you're here, because YouTube doesn't usually tell me. I'll wait. Oh, that seems about right. What's up? How you doing? Just getting the live started. Just gonna tinker around here. I figured I'd bring up a live since I haven't done it in a while. What am I doing? Well, I'm getting ready to tinker with this gravely. I just picked this up this morning, and I'm not going to try to get it running. I'm just gonna tinker with it some. You know, try and get stuff lubricated. This is another one I bought from the scrapyard. If y'all didn't watch this past Sunday's video, I bought a Gravely 526 from the scrapyard, got it running, and I just picked this one up this morning. It was at the same scrapyard. It is another 526. It's just an earlier model. It's a 1975 instead of a 76 like the other one. And of course, just like the other one, sat outside at the scrapyard for several years. So we're going to tinker with it. I'm not going to try and get it running right now on the live or anything, but I do want to get some things lubricated so that when I start making a video on getting it running, it doesn't take as long. I ain't got to fight with so much stuff. Hey, let go. Just lubricate the heck out of everything. What this will do is speed up the process of getting it running for me later down the road, and also anybody who owns this in the future. Things that are usually stuck that would need to come apart won't be stuck. I'll eliminate that issue for other people also by doing this. What oil am I using? Freol. It's a penetrating oil, and it is magical. It works wonders. That's not really stuck, but I'll lube it up anyway. You see, this is broke off here, cracked down the back here. So that thing's going to be, you know, in rough shape, but it'll be all right. Let's see here. What else do I need to lube up? Oh yeah, I need to find the dang choke cable itself. Is it even in there? It is, all right. That's not what you like to see. This thing doesn't even have a carburetor on it. In other words, it's not going to be good. Oh, the head's popped off. Oh, that's bad news. Somebody was taking this apart for some reason. Fuel pump is gone. The whole fuel system is gone off of this tractor. No tank, no pump, no carb, no air filter. The head's popped loose. I didn't really get to look at it much before I bought it. It was kind of buried. We had to dig it out. Wouldn't surprise me if it was a parts unit, but you wouldn't think they'd have scrapped it afterwards and left the attachment and stuff on it. And it's got a sticker on the other side. It was a vocational schools, so more than likely they let a kid try and learn on it, do something with it, and the kid fucked it up, so they just scrapped it. That would be my guess. Let's see here. Lube everything. Shouldn't need to take these tires off. Somebody will. Don't just do things that'll help you when you're working on old equipment. Think about the next person that's going to be working on it too. What are they going to need to do? This tractor is going to need tires eventually, so somebody's going to have to take these tires off. So, lube up all that stuff for them. What else was I fixing to do? Oh, PTO. That'll definitely need lubricated. PTO in there under things. Oh, good. That shoe is loose on one side. Stuff's not too expensive. Just dump it in there. Took all the good parts and scrapped it. Yeah, I'm surprised they kept that attachment. Yeah, it was in the scrap just like this. Ooh, see? That was froze up when I picked this tractor up. I just soaked it with that. Now it's not froze up. There's so much stuff you need to buy or replace to make it a good unit, maybe you should part it out. Well, I'd rather not do that. Really, there's not a lot that I should have to do. Toss a head gasket in it, find a carb, toss a carb on it, and an air box. And I can run it off an auxiliary tank or buy another tank. At the point it's at, it's not missing enough things to warrant parting it out for me. Now, if I take the engine apart and there's something catastrophically wrong with the engine or trans, maybe. But I always rather sell things whole, get them running, give them another chance at life. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. Don't know when I'll have time to do that, but that's what I want to do. How much did I pay for it? That, sir, you might have to just wait till the video comes out to find out. Probably a little bit more, well, yeah, more than scrap value, because it's only about 500 pounds. So scrap value would be, oh, like 30 bucks. So I paid way more than scrap value for it. That's for sure. All right. Can you think of anything else on the tractor portion that needs lubricated with penetrating oil? I can't, so I'm going to move on. And if somebody says something, no, double that. Double your last guess. Just start lubing stuff randomly up here. Sure. I don't know. Gotta pay to play. Stuff's not cheap. And originally I wasn't going to buy it. But I hate seeing stuff just sit in the scrap. So I bit the bullet and went and saved it. I made enough on the other one to warrant buying this one, even if I don't make any money on it. It was one on the marketplace for $100 a couple days ago and had a mower for the front. Yep, the other one that I had the front brush hog on it. I give the same amount for it as I did this one, but I already got it running, driving, and sold it. So I decided I would pick this one up, save it too. It's got the same issue. I don't know if you watched the video Sunday, but it's got the same issue with the engine. Some nut job ran into the shroud, so it won't turn over. But we'll get her going, hopefully. At least this one, all the wiring harness isn't completely ripped out of it. It's not like there correctly, but not just cut. So yeah, that's a plus. Always makes it slightly easier. There's no key switch though. Somebody robbed that out of it. Some genius bent the choke. Choke lever's broke, or bent I should say. So this one's a little rougher than the other one. But, you know, they're good tractors. This one's a 1975. It's fairly early. I think it was the 1000th one built. 1000 and something. Hard to read the tag. It's kind of faded out. This will be one of the next projects though. Got some goofy tiller on it. Different kinds than what I've got. So we'll get it running and play with it, see how we like to till. I am surprised that it has a tiller on it for the vocational school. Maybe they were using it for like a gardening class or something, who knows. Oops. I probably can, yeah. Normally the attachments average 75 to 100 bucks. Wow, that sun is just not helping me, is it? Not a good angle. Okay, put your back over here. Normally the attachments are, you know, 50, 75, 100 bucks. So I should be able to get most of my money back out of the tiller and then still have the tractor. I've never seen one of these style tillers. Well, I probably have. I just can't. I've never had one of these style tillers. I've had the other style tiller, but this looks like maybe a newer design. So I'm not sure exactly what it is. And this thing's got some sort of extension in here, whatever. Not going to pretend to know. Haven't done any research on this tractor yet a whole lot, so figure it out later. There's a sneak peek for next week's video. But yeah, this is going to be a project here before too long. I want to get it running. What's my favorite tractor of all time? Are we talking garden tractor, farm tractor, or like all together? Or mower? I don't like mowers. I like the garden tractors and the farm tractors. Favorite farm tractor is probably an A or a G, John Deere. And I don't know. Garden tractors. I really like the 112s, but the 140s are growing on me pretty good. I've had a lot of 140s lately, and those are pretty darn nice. My favorites are definitely John Deere's, though, because they're the best built garden tractors that I've found. As you see, I've got a few. This is only half of them on this side, if that, actually. So, yeah, the John Deere's are my favorite. Probably like a 140 or a 112 would be my favorite John Deere garden tractor. Well, John Deere is my favorite, but favorite garden tractor would be like a 140 H3 or a 112 hydraulic lift. John Deere all the way? Heck yeah. I'm with it. Here's something you don't see ever since it's custom built. I had this several years ago, and when I sold it, I got hate for it. So when it went up for sale, I went and bought it back. Now I just have to make some time to work on it, but it's not a priority because it's not something I'm going to need to use. It's just going to be a toy. So, do you like the diesels? The 330 I could do without. All it is a H1. I don't like the H1s. The 332 I don't really like because all it is a 317 diesel, and I don't like the 317. I don't really like 300 series a whole lot just because of the way the hydraulics are set up. And I don't really like the 430 because it's stupid heavy in the front end. It's got a Pinocchio nose sticks out. So it's pretty much useless unless you're on solid ground. So no, I don't really like any of the diesels. I mean, if I found a 332 or a 430 really cheap, I might pick one up. But I don't really like them because they're kind of overrated. I only have one 300 series. I do want to get a 300 to match it. So I'd have two 300 series. But those would be the only ones I want to keep. And I mean, that tractor, 317, I wouldn't even mind selling if somebody wanted it real bad. But 430 looks funny. Yes, it does. Almost like a setback axle on semi. Yeah. I think it's really stupid. I think they're ugly and they're so useless. I've seen saw a guy with a 430 with a loader on it, a video on YouTube at one point. Somebody told me, you need a 430. So I was doing my research real hard to make sure that I wasn't, exaggerating and incorrect. I saw a guy with a 430 with a loader, backed it off of his trailer, and as soon as he got down the trailer and started going up a slight grassy incline behind him with bar tires, he spun out and couldn't move. Who's alive? Nobody? Did you bring pizza? You're supposed to bring pizza. Come on now, Blake. You know better. Man, oh man. Hard to get good help. .430's ugly. I would prefer a Komoda. Ew. Well, I would prefer a 430 over a Kubota. Komoda, my bad. But I wouldn't buy either one. I definitely wouldn't buy a Komoda. But I wouldn't go looking for a 430 either. Do have something I'd like to bring to the table. What's that? Is it pizza? You need to bring pizza to the table. Had a Kubota, and it had a special place. Oh, is that right? Both my neighbors have Kubotas, and I can work circles around them with this 140. And they're both diesel four-wheel drives. Lots of power, huh? The Kubota diesel engines just don't seem to have as much torque and power as the John Deere, or the Yanmar ones that the John Deere used. And they're definitely not worth as much. I had sold a whole Cub diesel with a 16 or 18 horse Kubota diesel. I struggled to get like $1,400 for the whole tractor, but I was able to get 1,800 or something for just the diesel engine that was a Yanmar. No, not pizza. Do you know that poster made about heavy duty air cleaner? I have not seen it yet. No. I've been working all day. When did you make it? I would probably not buy any more. Yeah. I want to sell a bunch of tractors, and I want to get a 300, but I'm going to be picky. It's got to be an original paint 1975 300 Deere. And I want to find my first 140 I had, serial number 54948. If I find the two of those, I'll have all the garden tractors for Deere that I want to keep. Then I got to figure out what I'm doing for Gravely. I've got the 430 up there that I'm going to plan on keeping. Got the 432 over here that I plan on keeping. And I have an 812 over in the other building that I've been working on that I'll probably keep. All the other Gravely riders I'm going to sell. And walk behinds, I don't know. I wouldn't mind having one or two, but we'll see. 140s were built well. Yes, they were. They were a heavy tractor. And I do some serious work with this one. It's been on blade duty for quite a while, and it's got wheel weights on it, and then the weight box full of weight in the back. It was a joke. Said someone else bought a Deere cleaner on eBay, but I bought it. Friend, tractor medic, is 140 engine shit the bed. Well, is Ryan, is that because he ran it out of oil, or because the balance gears took a dump? The balance gears in the 14 horses were very problematic for the Kohlers. Blake, you know what balance gears are, sir. You have no clue. Balance gears are, well, you can also call them the grenade gears. Is that better? Still have to remove mine. Yeah, I removed mine already. I'm ahead of you. I got a second sweeper too. Now I've got two of those sweepers. Now I just need to get another one of those rakes, apparently. I really like the 200 series. I got a whole set of them. 212's still over in the shop being restored. But I got 200, 208, 210, 212's gone, 214, 216. The 200 series is what I suggest for a beginner because parts are readily available and they are darn good workhorses. You can always brag about you. Well, isn't that nice? Blake and his heavy air cleaner, you know. I'll eventually have one of those, Mr. Blake, but they're too expensive for me to justify spending the money on them. Have 216, did partial restoration. Yeah, I did. I restored my 216 last year. You can see it right here. If you want to see the restoration, go check out the videos on it. There's a playlist on redoing it. Your governor and your 400 went out, huh? Well, that sounds like a fun job. I'm glad it's you and not me. I hope the governor in mine doesn't go out. That'd be problematic. I still need to fix the dang charging system in mine. Well, thank you there, Ryan. I haven't run it since the restoration, though. I have like an hour on it. And I took it out in the snow last year when we got a couple inches, took some pictures of it, and parked it right there. Haven't started it since, and then I stole the front tires off it for the 212 because I want to go back to 5 ribs on the 16. Fuel system, I'm sure, needs primed back up, so I'll have to prime it up and get it started sometime, but not on the priority list yet. Decided to do one yourself because of my video. Oh, sweet. How'd yours turn out? Did you redo the engine or anything? As of right now, 400 is in timeout, thinking about what it's done. Well, yeah, that sounds like a good place for it if it's not behaving. Mine is, it's there. I use it some, but not very often because, well, like I said, it doesn't charge the battery and I haven't made time to fix that yet. So eventually, I need to get that taken care of. But it's one of those projects that it still works how it is. You just can't use it too long because the battery will go dead. So, it doesn't really need fixed. We'll see how long it takes. Took me almost a year, well, actually over a year, to fix the charging system on the Gravely 430 because I could still run it like that. So, How do you like the sleeve hitch? Oh, I love the sleeve hitches. They're amazing. Mike's the reason I'm redoing my 140. Well, yeah, you kind of got the thing from here. The rate I'm going, Blake's going to have his 140 patio done before I get mine done. I started mine last year. Dang Hapco won't get their things together and get me the stuff that I wanted them to get me. They told me they'd get. Still waiting for decals for the 212 and the 140 and a bunch of other parts they said they were going to get me for the 140. So they're both kind of on hold and in timeout right now. I do need to go mount some tires for both of them, but get a buff. No, Hapco doesn't ship slow. They don't have a 212 decal kit, and so they're making one special for me, and they're just slacking off. They haven't got it done yet. And I talked to Brandon over there, and he said that he might have a used part that I need for my 140 that's not on their website. So he's going to look for it, but again, hasn't done it yet apparently. So I'm just waiting to hear from him. Once you order stuff, you get things in a few days. But I'm just waiting to hear about stuff that's not on the website. That way I don't have to make 2 different orders and pay shipping twice. So that's the plan. I was just hoping that they'd have that stuff done quicker. But no, if you order off the website, they ship reasonably speeded. Not the quickest shipping, I guess, in the world, but they do decent. They're not slacking off too hard. Still looking for brake rods for yours. I don't know how you would break your brake rods. Are you talking the rod that runs from the pedal back to the axle? Like, how did you manage to do that? I've never seen one get broke. Well, I will say, sir, that is some talent, I would say. Not going to be able to get to mine very easily. I'm sure this stream is like not happy right now since I'm walking, but it'll get over it. I put my platform on. I can't see my brake rods no more. Forgot about that. That's my 140. It's in decent shape. You're just too strong. Yes, I'm sure that that's probably the problem. Here we go. Brake rods are turned all the way in and are locked up tight. Well, free all them. Give them some penetrate knurls, unlock on them, and really you can build those brake rods pretty easy if you needed to. Well, YouTube just told me that there's one person in here, so that seems fine. Gonna head out, probably be back in a half hour if you're still alive. All right, see you later. Been on a money spending spree. That Gravely you see up there in the front of the building, picked that up today. The piece of equipment that's sitting right beside me, that's this coming Sunday's video, I picked up last Monday, along with another lawn sweeper. Same thing as what I've got, so now I have two of them. I'm going this coming Saturday and looking at a truck. It doesn't run, so we'll get it running, hopefully. And yeah, I need to sell some stuff, stop buying so much. I did sell that other Gravely last Sunday's video, so there's that, I suppose. Steve gonna want that lawn sweeper to go with that hay rake. Well, hopefully not, because he's not gonna get it. I haven't even told him I got it though. Actually, if he wanted it, I'd probably sell it to him, but you know. I don't plan on selling it to him. He doesn't know that I have it. I don't think that he's near as amused with the lawn sweeper as he was the rake. I like those Turf Groom 136 sweepers. They're a really good old sweeper, heavy duty, but they didn't sell too many of them because they were $1,300 new 30 years ago. So you don't find them very often. And when you do, they're several $100s. So now I've got two. I plan on keeping the both. Either have a parts unit or get them both usable so that I can get somebody else to work with me sweeping if they want. I'd say John, but he's too damn lazy to go anywhere. So you know how that goes. John must not live too far from me. No, not too far. I believe he's the closest YouTuber around. Not that that's saying much, but you know, I think he's the closest one to me. He's just a pain in the butt. That's all. I clearly wasn't focusing. He might have a brake rod. Who are we talking about? I don't remember. When you finish your 140, you're planning on doing work with it. Nope. I have a attachment that is unnamed thus far that I want to redo. Not mechanically. I ain't too worried about mechanically because it's worn out. I want to repaint, make look pretty, and put on the 140 and just leave it on there for shows. So that's all that 140 will ever do is be a display piece, for me anyway. Somebody else might do something with it, but I'm only going to display it and show it. I will neither confirm nor deny your accusation. I think it'd be, what I've got planned, I think would be a pretty slick little setup, pretty cool looking to be at a show. Don't do this to me. Too bad. Everybody else in here, should we continue to do that to Blake? Oh, there's a fourth person. Well, you know what? I'm going to have to start saying something to people in the videos, you know. Watch for the lives, because you kind of get the inside scoop and, you know, looks into future videos. Oops. So, yeah. I don't know what attachment I'm going to put on it, but I think it's going to be a pretty cool setup. I have a lot of tractors I need to restore. I got a ways to go. The first 4 in the row need redid. The 5th one needs redid. The 7th one needs redid. Pretty much everything on that side of the barn is going to get restored that I'm keeping. Eventually I'll repaint that 112 patio, but really it's mechanically sound. Maybe that log splitter. Well, that'd be kind of awkward to move around, but you know. I want to put the log splitter on something so I can use it. I just haven't done it yet. Steve had at one point inquired about the log splitter. I told him I didn't want to sell it, but if he wanted to put it on one of his tractors to take to a show, he was more than welcome. But he said he had attachments for all the tractors he was taking this year, maybe another year, which is fine with me, because it's kind of buried. Maybe put that log splitter on like the 110 or something. 8 horse isn't enough to do much of anything. Hard work like I do. Log splitter wouldn't take that much power to run. Just toss it on there and do demonstrations. Split firewood with it. One of my feelers just paid off. I've been looking for a Kenton Implement Company dealer sticker for that 120, and I just had one sent to me, it looks like. 110 patio you got. Someone found one in better shape. Would you buy it? Probably not. I found one in better shape about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Well, probably longer than that. Shortly after I bought that one, somebody tagged me in. And yeah, it was like $2,000. I paid $200 for that one, I think. So I've got that one now. I'm going to restore it. I've already started collecting parts that I need to do it. So I'm just going to restore that one. Half the fun is in the restoration anyway, so no, if I found another one in better shape, I would not mess with it. I found other patios that I have that I'm restoring in better shape, but it's easier just to keep the ones I have, because if I bought a different one, then I'd have to sell these. So it's easier just to keep these and restore it. I know how to do the work, so I mean, it just costs me parts and paint and stuff, no labor. I'm not paying anybody to do it. So I'm not hurting doing any restorations. I mean, it doesn't hurt my feelings or bother me. It's expensive, but so is buying a nicer one. And when you redo it yourself, you know it was done with it. Yes, that was a long-winded response. Yeah. Yep. Hey Blake, you got any Gravely's yet? Just so everybody knows, I'm going to be wrapping this up here in the next few minutes. We've been on for 42 minutes now. Not that there's many people in here, but, you know, wrap up here in a few minutes. Wouldn't fit in your sea of green. Wow. I like the Gravely's. They're not as good a quality as the John Deere. I'm not going to claim that they are. But I will tell this. The Gravely's are way more comfortable to ride on than the John Deere's for the most part. And I like the 400 series Gravely's because they have steering brakes and a gear drive stock from the factory on all of them, which is something John Deere never did. You couldn't even get it, you know, as an option. So I do like the Gravely's for that, but I do like the John Deere's more. You ought to buy yourself a Gravely someday, test it out, see how you like it. They didn't have transmission issues. They had operator error. That 1430 that I have, that I tried to get running last, somebody was engaging the PTO without disengaging the PTO clutch. So you're supposed to disengage the 1-2 clutch, engage the PTO, and then engage the 1-2 clutch. And a lot of people just whacked it in because somebody was apparently telling people that, because I was told that several times when I first got them. And then I had one guy say, no, don't listen to all these other jackwagons. This is the way you do it. And yeah, that works a hell of a lot better. So I think that's the issue. Other than that, I mean, the transmissions are pretty bulletproof. They're the same transmission as the walk behind, and they're pretty good. I haven't had, other than that tractor and that 450 I had, that first Gravely I had, the Swift-O-Matic was worn out. Other than those two tractors, I've never had a transmission issue with a Gravely 400 series, other than, you know, leaking oil, but that's, you know, everything. It's old. When I buy them and they've sat for years and then you start using them, that's what happens. But we're going to get wrapped up, end of the live. I got some other things I'm going to go do, and we'll go have some supper with the family. And I'll see you guys later, next live. So stay tuned for Sunday's video, and we'll catch you later.